Hello, I'm Jonasz Rewiński and you're watching Break the Fake. They make them, we break them, and tell you everything you need to know. Every now and then we engage in debate on things Donald Trump says, mostly on the topic of the war in Ukraine. Now, so far the worst cases have been fake narratives coming from the real Donald Trump. But how about a fake Donald Trump for a change? On Sunday, an ex-user posted a clip of Trump apparently commenting on the rising Middle East tensions, urging Pakistan to stay out of a potential conflict with Israel.
Pakistan has also warned Israel and the U.S. because Israel mistakenly said Pakistan is number 2 after Iran. Pakistan is fully alert with its air, land, and marine forces. Pakistan's defense minister Khawaja Asif said if Israel attacks Iran again, Pakistan will totally destroy Israel. But Harry's, would I say Pakistan should not do that? Pakistan has no problem with us. Their army is already very high alert. In my opinion, Pakistan should not get involved. This is Israel and Iran's war. We need peace in the region. We need to stop the fighting, not get in the middle. That's the truth. That's a smart move.
Now, the post was viewed by over 620,000 people. It was also shared on different TikTok accounts, racking up more than 4 million views in total. Now, a fact check was initiated to see if this stuff is actually the real deal. And guess what? It's not. A careful analysis of this viral clip showed several discrepancies, such as unnatural blinking, distorted facial expressions, as well as robotic-sounding speech lacking a natural cadence. For example, at the 34-second mark of the clip, the word region sounds rather weird and unnatural, even accounting for Trump's peculiarities and unique speech patterns. The conclusion is simple. This is AI Trump we're looking at. The clip is a deepfake and Trump has never made such a comment. That being said, we've already mentioned the stats. Literally hundreds of thousands saw this clip. And that's the real problem. When fact-checkers are sent in to intervene, the damage might already be done. Pro tip. You see anything outlandish or unusual, check the comments. Some users might have spotted telltale signs of a deep fake already and will be quick to say so. Okay, time for Tales from the Crypt, Central Europe edition. The Hungarian opposition has expressed outrage over a video shared by Alexandra Szent-Királyi, an ally of Prime Minister Viktor Orban, which suggests that Ukraine's accession to the European Union could allegedly lead to a surge in organ trafficking.
Gondolom, ti sem szeretnétek így járni, márpedig Ukrajna gyorsított Európai Uniós csatlakozásával jönnek a kereskedők, a kereskedők, a kereskedők és az emberkereskedők is.
Now, the problem is that this victim in the trunk turned out to be an employee of the office of the Hungarian Prime Minister himself. We have so many questions. Are these guys kidnapping their own office workers for organs now? Is this some kind of prank gone horribly wrong? Or are we simply looking at a rather heavy-handed piece of disinformation with hopelessly bad acting coming as an added bonus? Now, Ferenc Gyelenscher, a member of the opposition Impulse Party, could not contain his emotions and said he would file a complaint with the police over the whole act. According to him, such videos spread false information, fuel rumors, and create the impression of a threat to public safety. And this, he said, is a crime. Not to mention that this whole Ukrainian organ trade is a fake news trope that's as old as the hills by now, along with other tinfoil hat stories such as the infamous biolabs. And all of those tales are written in Russia. Surprise, surprise. Would be a fun script for a new edition of Resident Evil, but otherwise, no. Just no. It is ironic that not so long ago Hungary was discussing fakes and manipulation in politics, and now they have a classic example of how this works in practice. And of course, hundreds of jokes have already appeared on social media with the theme Hungary the new center of the world organ trade being at the center of it. Well, I suppose that if this said organ trade also includes brains, there might be quite a few potential customers lining up for a quick swap after contracting acute brain rot from watching this video. Russia's spiritual space has a new hit. Priest Andrey Tkachev, the official voice of the Russian Orthodox Church and it seems the unofficial stylist of the Afterlife. Yeah, I know you've got questions, so okay. The man in question recently issued another piece of wisdom for women. According to him, widows should forever abandon lipstick, femininity, and even the thought of remarrying. Because, pay attention, their late husbands keep watching from the other side.
Овдовевшая женщина пусть подражает блаженной Ксении. Вот женщина, однажды замуж вышедшая, второй раз уже себя никому не отдававшая, уже больше глазки не подкрашивавшая, похоронила мужа и похоронила свое сердце вместе с ним, и отдала свою душу и тело Богу, и стала святой, так что всем помогает. А сейчас вдов много. И вдовы бывают разные, сластопитанные, говорит Павел, завжавы умерли, а те, которые помнят мужа своего, и им как-то стыдно им отдавать себя заново какому-то другому дядьке, потому что смерти же нет, муж с того света посмотрит, как-то стыдно, одеяло же не скрывает человека от глаз Божьих и от глаз там живущих людей.
I suppose the Russian version of the Great Hereafter is as authoritarian as their own actual reality, complete with celestial CCTV, constant surveillance, as well as women's rights being as dead as the dodo bird. Imagine Ivan, who recently shuffled off this mortal coil because Putin decided to ship him to the Donetsk frontline with no proper training, now harassing his former wife through constant WhatsApp messages from the afterlife because she dared to wear makeup or flirt with a co-worker at the local department store. Guess that in Russia, heaven really is a place on earth, with control freaks at the helm. However, our good Reverend Tkachev has a little problem. His statement, you see, actually contradicts the Bible. The Epistle to the Romans, chapter 7, verses 2 and 3, clearly states that a woman is released from the law of her husband when he dies. There you have it. Since this is Russia, however, I suppose it won't be a big deal to convince everyone that the idea of the eternal peeping Tom following every widow like a plague is totally legit from a theological perspective. I mean, Russia's version of the God of love and light apparently has no issue with Orthodox priests blessing literal nukes with holy water, at least according to Patriarch Kirill, who also happens to be ex-KGB and a Putin loyalist. Seems like Russia is the very first country where state capture actually extends to all things spiritual as well. If deceased war veterans have an official license to stalk their ex-wives from beyond, I guess Moscow should start handing out free Ouija boards. Given how the tally for casualties, including both dead and wounded, has recently passed the 1 million mark, Russian industry might be forced to make some tough choices between wartime production and spiritualist paraphernalia. And with this we conclude this edition of Break the Fake. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates.